We have a bunch of cruise news stories for you today. Over on Royal Caribbean, we have a man overboard and also big news about loyalty status match. Disney Cruise Lines is having a very big celebration that has to do with their brand new private island. P&O Cruise Lines is introducing a controversial new fee. Will other cruise lines do the same? Carnival Cruise Line introduced new Halloween programs. On Princess Cruise Lines, we have some very popular people introducing new liquor options. And then just the opposite on Seabourn cruises, they have introduced a whole set of drinks with no alcohol. That famous world cruise, well, it has been delayed once again. MSC is looking to build even bigger cruise ships than the world's largest. And we can't forget, the summer is unofficially here. And although demand is at an all-time high on the cruise lines, we found some of the big three, Carnival, Royal, and Norwegian, slashing prices. And stick around to the end of the video. I have something to show you that just might cause claustrophobia as a woman gets stuck on a cruise ship water slide. Let's swan dive right into it. Hello everyone, it's Cynthia. Welcome back to today's show. I'm going to jump right into it or else this video would be like 45 minutes long. Let's start off the show with prices for cruises being slashed. I know this is shocking to me because all we've heard of is the great demand for cruising and how cruise prices are trending up. Well, we've got good news for the summer, and this is on the major cruise lines. We're talking about Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Royal. Because of some of the unrest that's going on in the Red Sea and those areas, and cruising has been shut down in so many areas around the world, more ships are headed to popular destinations like Alaska and the Caribbean. Well, information from AAA says that cruise prices for trips departing from the US this summer were they're trending lower than they were last year because of the need to now take these cruises on itineraries other than what they were originally scheduled and to get people to get on these ships. And some of the ships are the older ones, not maybe the brand new latest ones. Well, in order to entice travelers, they are cutting prices. For example, Carnival and their Alaskan cruises. Cruises right now in July and August have been slashed about 20% lower than they were just 1 year ago in 2023. Royal Caribbean's prices for the same months are between 6 to 12% lower than they were last year at this time. So right now would be a great time if you're looking for a discount on cruising and you want to get some cruising in for the summer. You can book yourself a discounted cruise for the 2024 summer cruising season. Our next story takes us over to Villa V Residencies. I have discussed before this cruise ship that's getting ready to depart on that 3-year round the world cruise that you'll always be able to find summer. The great debut, well, it was already pushed back, and we already know that people had sold their homes and cashed in everything to be able to go on this 3-year cruise. Well, the cruise was set to depart on May 30th, and at the time of this recording, that is yesterday, and it didn't depart. Just before embarkation, the cruise line reached out to all of its booked guests to alert them that there was a delay due to the issue's gray water tanks. They weren't given much more information than that. But there is a small upside to this. The ship is now set to debark on June 4th of 2024, so just a few more days before it is set to take off on that record-breaking world cruise. Our next story takes us over to the famous Love Boats. We're talking about Princess Cruises. They have partnered with some very famous faces to create a premium liquor brand. Princess Cruise Lines has launched the Love Line Premium Liquors Collection. These have been crafted together with renowned celebrities, Jason Aldean, Romero Brito, and Pitbull. These are an exclusive line of wines and spirits. The Love Line Premium Liquors will debut on the Sun Princess. There is the Voli 305 Vodka. This vodka has been created in partnership with Pitbull, or Mr. Worldwide as he's known, and they are said to embody the vibrant energy of Miami. There is a Love Prosecco by the artist Romero Brito and esteemed winemaker Villa Sandy. This one is said to embody the essence of refinement and sophistication. Here you can taste dry melon fruit and also bursts of fine mousse. There's notes of lemon, mineral, and white peach. Country music icon Jason Aldean and his sister Cassie Wicks, and also their fellow country music artist Chuck Wicks, have all partnered together to make this new collection of wines. There is the Melrosa Sauvignon Blanc, the Red Blend, and the Cabernet Sauvignon. The Melrosa Sauvignon Blanc is a dry white wine with hints of herbs, grasses, and a very crisp taste. The Melrosa Cabernet Sauvignon is said to be fruit forward. You can taste dark fruit notes of blackberry and blueberry, along with a mocha and cedar essence. For all of you wine enthusiasts out there, does this sound like something that you would like to have upon your palate to taste this? And does this sound exciting, like flavors that you would enjoy? Well, if that is the case, these liquor brands are available right now aboard the Sun Princess and exclusively across the Princess fleet, starting ahead of their summer voyages. Our next cruise story shifts gears like 180 degrees from the Princess cruise story. We're talking about new drink offerings that are, well, alcohol free. We're headed over to the luxury cruise line of Seabourn. They have just unveiled their brand new set of drinks and cocktails, and these are designed for guests who are not looking for alcohol in their beverages. This initiative is called Zero at Sea. This Zero at Sea program promises to offer exotic flavors such as grapefruit and elderberry, and they have very cute and funny names for these cocktails. One of them is called the Ginny in Tonic. Another one is called the Not So Cosmo. And then we have the Amalfi Spritz. But the whole point is for you to be able to have fun, celebrate, and get a drink without any of the alcohol involved. So I have a question. Based on the two stories that I just discussed, we talked about Princess and their celebrity pairing of the new alcohols that they're bringing out. And then we talked about Seabourn with their new mocktail menu with no alcohol. I would love to know where you fall in this. Would you be more tempted to try some of those new offerings aboard Princess, or are you interested in trying some of those mocktails? What do you think about these? Are you interested? Either way, I would love to know. Leave a comment below. Our next cruise line story is for you Disney Cruise Line and Disney fans. We're talking about the opening, finally, of their brand new private island, Lookout Cay. This island destination is finally ready to welcome visitors. On this past Thursday, Disney Cruise Lines brought together local officials and community members to commemorate and celebrate the official opening. This island is said to be able to offer a really deep dive into Bahamian culture as you travel through and visit. The architecture itself, which is inspired by local artistry and nature. There's the Junkanoo inspired tile work in the Goombay Cultural Center and Cabanas, and the inspired artworks that are scattered throughout this destination. Families will also have a chance to participate in Rush. This is a Junkanoo celebration where local Bahamians will share special cultural tradition. There are dozens and dozens of things planned for the island, so if you are interested in knowing more, just take a look at the Disney website because they have all of that there to share with you. Are you a Disney Cruise Line fan? How many of you out there, I'd love to know, have taken a Disney cruise? And was it all that it has been cracked up to be? And was it worth that additional price? And what do you think about Disney's private island? I'd love to know. Please do leave a comment below. Our next story takes us over to P&O Cruises and a new fee that they have initiated. Before I tell you about this new fee, here's the question. Do you travel with children? And if you do, are you one who partakes of the children's programs? Do you let your kids go and play or stay in the children's programs? Well, P&O has decided that they are going to start charging cancellation fees at their children's program. As you can imagine, it's been received with some very mixed reviews. Guests on board the Azura received some letters in their stateroom regarding the new changes. The letter stated, "We are writing to inform you of our upcoming changes to the reef. From 30th May 2024, there will now be cancellation charges." And just so that we all understand, the reef is the name for their children's program, and it's for children 12 and younger. This space is free to guests, but they do have to pre-register their children because the space often fills up. So they ask you to pre-register so they can get a count of how many children would be using the facilities. There's been feedback and frustration for parents who want to take their children down to the reef program, but it has been filled up. And then people who decided that they were going to come just don't show up. Well, it has made P&O decide to do this cancellation fee. There will be a charge of $6.36 applied to any onboard account for a session canceled less than 24 hours before the session start time, and a charge of $12.73 for a session which is not attended at all. P&O Cruises does have other children's programs for children older than 12 years old, the teens program, and for that you do not have to pre-register. So right now we're not talking about any fees for that teen program, just for the reef. The feedback has been, as I said, a mixed bag. Some parents are delighted. They're like, okay, great. No more people just saying they're gonna go and then canceling and then my kid can't go. This will make people much more responsible. And if you say you're gonna go, you go. And if your kid's not gonna go, you let them know. Well, other parents have said, there's no way that I can give you a 24-hour notice. What if my child becomes sick at the last minute? Or what if they go and decide that they don't want to go and do the activity that's being presented? And, if I make them, if I force them, they're going to be unhappy. They're going to have a bad cruise experience, possibly have a tantrum. Or what if I make a reservation on embarkation day for the next morning? Well, that would never give me the opportunity to cancel 24 hours before. So I'm sure that P&O Cruises will take into consideration some of the feedback, but I think it's pretty good that they're trying to do something to make sure that the kids programs, these are very popular and they're free. They want to make sure that they are being used if they say they're going to be used. And if not, well, parents, they're just going to let them know ahead of time. I would love to know, what are your thoughts about this? And I also got to thinking, if one cruise line does it, a lot of times that starts the trend for other cruise lines. Do you think this is something that would spread to other cruise lines? I mean, I could definitely see if they work out all of the kinks that other cruise lines would adopt this same policy. Let me know your thoughts. I told you that we had a lot of cruise news stories today. Well, we're halfway through, so I'm going to take a little intermission. Any of you know what I mean when I say a drive-in theater? I'm not talking about the ones like now. I'm talking about back in the day. We used to go to drive-in theaters and there would be two movies playing and you'd pull up and put the little thing on your window and crank it up and turn on the speaker. And in between movie number 1 and movie number 2, there was this big intermission and popcorn would pop and candy would dance. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but it would be an intermission time. This is time for you to get out, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, and of course, go buy some more snacks. Well, I'm going to give us a little intermission here so you can stretch. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I mean, you can go pop some popcorn, I guess, as long as you can still hear me, because I have some information I want to share with you about our group cruise. Friends don't let friends cruise by themselves. And that is a very important statement. Because of that, I am inviting each and every one of you to join us on our Right Recipe for Travel group cruise. And I really love that the group cruise is not until next year. This gives you time to plan out your cruise, and it also gives you time to pay for your cruise, maybe leisurely. Maybe you just don't have all of the money right now to put down on your cruise, but you still want to go. Well, you have an opportunity to pay your deposit of just $199, and then you have all of the rest of the time until late next year, we're talking about August timeframe, to pay it off, because our cruise leaves on the beautiful MSC Seascape out of Galveston, Texas on November 16th of 2025. We're talking about next Thanksgiving. I am so looking forward to a couple of things. This is kind of special because MSC right now does not cruise out of Galveston. So they're making their big change next year, and they're bringing one of their latest, most beautiful and technologically advanced ships right on over to the Port of Galveston. I would love to meet you there. Here is the information for our group cruise, and of course I will leave that down in the description below. This is the time right now. I'm telling you, there are cabins available now for $450 to $500 per person inside. Plus, I have to mention that you get $75 of onboard credit per cabin. So this is a great deal, and this is going to sell out. So don't hesitate. If you're even a little bit interested, go ahead and put your deposit down and be part of the fun. And there's so much fun happening on our Right Recipe for Travel group cruise. I'll leave that information down in the description below. I hope that you are enjoying the cruise news for today. And if you are, please do us a big favor to help support this channel by subscribing. Listen, I'm asking you to do something that involves very little effort and it costs you absolutely no money. All you have to do is tap down on that subscribe button. And to some of you who are already subscribed, just double check. I don't know what it is, but some people say that they get unsubscribed from channels from time to time. So just make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, or if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? I am inviting you to be part of the Right Recipe for Travel family. If any of you would like to help support our channel, there are two different ways that you can do it. You can subscribe to our Patreon channel, and I'll give you that information right here. And we have several different payment types that you can pay a month, and they're very low rates. $2, $2.50, $3 or $4 or $5 per month. What that offers you is access to videos before anyone else, exclusive videos, and also exclusive lives just for our Patreon members. Or maybe you'd like to help by becoming a member of our channel. And we have different membership levels that offers all kind of different perks. I am going to leave that information also down in the description below. And I thank each and every one of you who support our channel. That means comments, likes, shares, and of course, subscribers. We couldn't do it without you. Our next stories takes us over to Carnival Cruise Lines. Although it's the last day of May, it's all about the season of Halloween. Carnival has put the jump on to give you their offerings for Halloween. They have a bunch of things that are not really too scary, just fun ideas that they do on their cruise ships, and they have put out the information to let us know. All ships in Carnival's fleet will offer Halloween sailings throughout October. During this time, you can expect unique takes on food and also drinks that they, Halloween up. And you can also look forward to special music and themed cruises. The first ship to welcome guests with their Halloween decor will be the Carnival Spirit, and that will start on September 24th with a departure of 15 nights out of Seattle. Their last ship to offer these sailings will be the Carnival Panorama, and she will showcase her Halloween decorations on the 24-night one-way voyage from Singapore to Long Beach. Have you ever done a Halloween sailing, and was it a lot of fun? What was unique and different about it, and would you suggest it to any of us? Please do leave a comment down below. Our next two stories take us over to Royal Caribbean, and we're going to start off our first story on the Icon of the Seas. And warning, this is a sad and a tragic story. This past week, a man reportedly jumped from the 20-deck high Icon of the Seas right after it left Florida on Sunday to embark on a 7-day cruise to the Caribbean. The ship was approximately 300 miles away from Port of Miami and around 30 to 40 miles north of Santa Lucia, Cuba, when the incident took place. As soon as they were alerted of the man overboard, the ship, of course, does what ships do. They stop, they veer their course, they turn around, they alert the Coast Guard, and they put out a search for passengers. And as any of you know who watch cruise news, usually people are not found. Well, there seemed to be a very happy ending for this story because the person was found. They were found during the search, and they were brought back aboard the ship, listed in critical condition. But unfortunately, the next day it was reported that the passenger did succumb to their injuries and has passed away. Royal Caribbean has not given much information in order to protect the privacy of the family of this cruise passenger, and that's completely understandable. We don't know exactly what happened, what the circumstances around this are. What we do know is that he did lose his life during this cruise. So let's all be in prayer for the family, the friends, and of course, all of the passengers who experienced this tragic scene aboard the Icon of the Seas. Our next Royal Caribbean story is all about the industry first loyalty matching that Royal Caribbean this past Thursday has said they will now do. What is this industry matching all about? Well, Royal Caribbean Holdings, which owns Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Silversea, they announced that members of Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society, as well as Celebrity Cruises Captain's Club and Silversea's Venetian Society, will attain equivalent tier status on any one of its brands to enjoy reciprocal benefits, no matter which brand they sail with. I mean, I think this is almost like a no-brainer. This one company owns all of these ships that you're sailing on. So, you know, if you're on a Royal Caribbean cruise, or if you're on a Celebrity cruise or a Silversea, it's all owned by the same company. So why not enjoy the benefits of having status match instead of having to start over, you know, each time you change those ships? I think it's a wonderful idea. Here are some of the highlights. This should be a seamless status match across all of the 3 brands. You will have great onboard benefits. The tier matching will be done automatically within 7 days, and so much more. I'm going to drop that information down in the description below. I'd like to know, what are your thoughts about Royal Caribbean's industry first loyalty match? We are down to the last 2 cruise news stories, and these are big. Let's first talk about MSC Cruises. They have been in talks to build, well, the world's largest cruise ships. Interesting, right? We all know that Royal Caribbean holds that title, but MSC, who has been coming on very strong in the US market, is looking to possibly, well, take that title. The cruise line is reportedly in talks with Meyer Turku about new construction projects that could be in excess of the 200,000 gross tons that it would take to rank up to the largest cruise ships in the world. We are hearing that MSC is currently in some very well-established discussions with Meyer Turku to build these ships. I do have to premise that these ships are not like coming next year or the year after. This could take several years and even up to a decade. But the interesting news is that they are in discussions to build these ships, and they've never built with Meyer Turku before. So this will be very interesting to see if Royal Caribbean comes out swinging, building the largest cruise ships in the world. What do you think? Are you a fan of these ultra mega large cruise ships, or do you like something a little bit smaller? And are you a fan of MSC? Please let us know with comments down below. Our final cruise news story takes us on over to Norwegian Cruise Lines and the Norwegian Bliss. Allegedly, a woman got stuck in the middle of a water slide while she was vacationing in Cabo San Lucas. There was a video posted on April 1st that captured this event with over 16 million views. Interestingly enough, the video was taken by the passenger's daughter, who found this very funny. Paige Hodgson, who is from Wales, stated in the video caption, "My mom got stuck on a water slide. Look how fast she flies." Can you imagine being stuck in one of those fast-moving, enclosed water slides? No, thank you. Upon further review of this video, and as you dive in a little further, you notice that Paige and her mom are going back and forth on this slide over and over again, and you come to realize that this slide on Norwegian Bliss, well, it's purposely set up to get you stuck in this very spot. Now on this slide, you have to use your own momentum to bring yourself over the top loop, or else you fly backwards and then you come to like a complete standstill. There is a side door on the slide that you can use, like, you know, to get out of this situation immediately if you're not able to make it over that loop. Apparently, people find this like an extra challenge to be able to make sure that you can get your body over that loop. And even if you get stuck, there's that trap door or that emergency door so that you can get right out. I don't know. Do you understand the fun and allure of these wild water slides? I've never been on one, so I'm not quite sure. Does this sound like something that would be fun to you? Please do let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you at the next adventure.